last video cut out, man. Yeah, all right, man. Back to the black fascists. Like Lil Wayne says in this one song, he says, "I'm the hip hop socialist." See, people always, when you say words like socialism, they always think of Russia. They think of communists and stuff. But I mean, actually, Hitler was raised up in something called the National Workers Socialist Party, the Socialist Party. You know what I'm saying? I mean, really, the corporatism versus communism is just the left and right pillar of the totalitarian aspect of things. You know what I'm saying? I mean, there really isn't no difference. I mean, there's difference in application, but end result is the same. It's bad for everyone. So they've been experimenting, especially on minority groups, trying to get them to, it's just like in Africa. Why is everyone called the New Liberty Liberation Foundation Movement? The New Africa Liberation, New Africa Freedom, Freedom Africa Liberation Force. I mean, they always got these weird, catchy names that sound like it's good. It's like, yeah, man, I'm for freedom too. Yeah, man, liberation, yeah. But liberation from what? From who? To what? You know what I'm saying? That's a Marxist thing. When you just get someone to revolt on whatever's the mainstream ideological thing. You know what I'm saying? That's going on. Like, it doesn't matter what you get them to revolt to, because once we can overthrow what is going on here, now it's weak, and we can hurry up and plan our people in place, and we can take this bitch over. We can make order out of chaos. We can never let this good crisis go to waste. Well, we put all this energy into making this crisis, so we're not going to waste it now that it's here upon us, are we now? You know what I'm saying? Plus, amongst all the chaos, it's like, all right, for instance, here's a good way to put it. It's like in a stampede, or a human stampede. Who trampled the person? The whole crowd trampled the person, because the whole crowd is responsible. I mean, and that's how you can, it's like these individual people who stepped on the person who fell aren't really responsible. The crowd was pushing them around, and they couldn't move. They were trapped on top of someone because of the crowd. So, I mean, it's kind of like in these situations, you can trample people. Look, you can, covertly trample the right people. You know what I'm saying? Amongst the chaos, and it'll look like it was just an accident, for instance. But what I'm saying, amongst chaos, a lot of things that normally are crime are not crimes, because circumstantially, you know what I'm saying? It was almost like someone used the crowd. They knew if they could create the right circumstance, they could use that crowd as a murder weapon, basically, if they know how to plan things. You know what I'm saying? And set things up, man. If you know how to perceive things, like, when disaster strikes, you know what I'm saying? If a person knows how it works, they can facilitate it. You know what I'm saying? Through, like chess. You know what I'm saying? It's like you can see 3 moves ahead, period. You know what I'm saying? Even though the board changes every move, so some of these moves you're appearing won't be there when the pieces actually move on the other side. This is all, I could move there, and this would give me this advantage, this disadvantage. Simple as that. That's how people think ahead. It's chess, not checkers. Checkers is just, it's simplistic, man. It's just move a piece, jump. Simple as that. You got all these different pieces, and they can move all these different places. There's all these rules. Chess is a lot more, it's more uniformed, but it takes a greater level of skill to actually play it and win. It doesn't take a great level to play, but it takes a understanding of the game itself and the rules and the pieces. Because once again, you can't look at your pawn like a pawn. Your pawn is a part of your whole board. You know what I'm saying? Even your enemy's pieces. If he gets himself confined behind his own pieces, and then you slip a piece in there and he can't move out the way, he checks himself by his own pieces, by not being aware of his environment. You know what I'm saying? And not seeing how his positioning could be used against him. You hardly do see it until, here's the thing, in real life, chess is awesome, because when you lose, you don't lose your head. You don't lose your life. You live to play another day. And in real warfare, fights, things like that, when you lose, you very well may die. You know what I'm saying? So you don't get a chance to learn. Only lucky people will get a chance to learn for long periods of time. You know what I'm saying? Or either that, or people who are facilitated growth. they're not put in harm's way, so therefore they can learn from everyone else's mistakes and then be advanced. You know what I'm saying? As leader, but black fascists, man. Like they say, Larry Hoover, the leader of the GDs, they say he is basically equivalent to a corporate CEO, and I mean that's corporatism. So I mean, it's like it's crazy that people don't recognize the correlation between Nazism and corporatism. And I mean, and how these gangs, man, I mean, really, once they really get, it's like, once the gangs around, they're just, they're just a tool of mischief for someone, and chaos, and fear. But then someone will come up and capitalize on the fact there's an organization there, and then they'll reprogram them to be little money go-getters. And one guy, you know, it's a pyramid scheme. That's why this shit is always, it's based on a fucking corporate model. I mean, the Illuminati is a corporation. You know what I'm saying? The real America is a corporation. You know what I'm saying? It's the law of the sea, where it's just goods. Goods, everything is broken down into goods. Humans aren't humans, they're just services. Or they're assets. You know what I'm saying? That's how you craftily switch things around. It's just magic, wording things different, and it changes how you perceive things. It's like when you convince a person to succumb to Darwinism and evolution, you're reduced to seeing people as animals. You don't see them as humans no more. It's like, I mean, murder isn't murder. It's just putting someone to sleep. And rape is no longer rape. It's just reproduction. You know what I'm saying? I mean, this is how things get twisted and altered by the dark side. You know what I'm saying? Like I was saying about the liberation freedom movements. You know what I'm saying? It's like, liberation for what? And once again, you know, I mean, you can't go and jump on the revolution bandwagon, because this is the same thing the communists did. They were begging for a revolution. This is the same thing the French were doing. When they were out there cutting off people's heads, man, begging for revolution, because it was like these people. You got to think of it this way: it wasn't the rulership that did it. The rulership got pinned between the public and their control. You know what I'm saying? Basically what it was. But really what it is that there was a third party, these dudes that were under to the top. And they were losing their manipulation over the people at the top. So they said, well, fuck it. We're going to turn the bottom against the top. And then out of the chaos, we'll implant our pieces into the structure. Bam, bam, bam. I mean, it's a very cunning, clever strategy. And once again, it's like using a situation as a murder weapon. So therefore, you can feel kind of like, look, I'm not guilty of murder because I didn't pull the trigger. But I mean, you set up the situation that got someone murdered over, you know what I'm saying, something that you could have quelled. So I mean, that's you're partially guilty. But yeah, man, I mean, they're tricky out here. Like I said, you know what I'm saying? It sounds like, yeah, though this isn't we have been kind of oppressed and taxed and pimped, you know, our whole lives, lied to. But then again, who really wants to liberate you? Who does that benefit? You know, it doesn't benefit the structure. So it's too good to be true. You can't believe it. It's just another. It's a more strict, more bloodthirsty system trying to overthrow the old. And you know what I'm saying? It needs your help. It needs your energy. It needs you to sow into the chaos with it. You know what I'm saying? It needs you to help birth a new world order. You know what I'm saying? It needs you to fuck up. It needs you to totally just give in, submit, obey, go back to sleep. You know, basically, they want you to love the matrix, loveth thy servitude, and you shall be rewarded with food rations. Basically, man. And you know, I mean, the ministry of propaganda, the real ministry, not me, not the mock ministry of propaganda. One guy is the ministry of propaganda, okay? But anyway, the mock ministry of propaganda. Look, I gotta sleep. I'm just one guy. I only got so much creative juice. I only got so much influence. You know what I'm saying? There's so much time in the day to do things. They're slowing down the speed of the net. I can't even upload as many videos. But the real ministry of propaganda, them niggas don't sleep. they've been doing this for hundreds of years. They got all the people in place. They got all the money. They got all the manpower. They got the muscle. They got the people in politics. They got motherfuckers in banks. They got motherfucking, they got all their people out there. So I mean, it's not, this is a very losing battle here. It's just basically throwing out. But still, it's just like this. Yeah, I guess, eventually this boat is going to fill up with water, but it doesn't matter. I'm still chucking buckets until I can't chuck no more. I mean, that's just the way this works. It's like, once again, like I was saying, I'm not sure if it's this video or the other video about the Indians. Can you blame them for fighting savage? You know what I'm saying? They were fighting for life itself. When's the last time you fought for your life? You know what I'm saying? I mean, me, I've only done it a few times, and only for moments, rare glimpses. We haven't had to live day to day where we got to fight for our life for every moment, every day. Live in constant trembling and fear. Though we should be in constant trembling and fear, and in some senses I am, because the enemy, it's like the Bible says. They'll look at the enemy and they say, like, they'll marvel at the beast. Who can make war against the beast? And it's like, the thing of it is, it's got to be a spiritual solution. It can't be a political solution. It's a spiritual solution. In the realms of spiritual, the beast can be fought. But in the realms of men, all we can do is, assist that fight. You know what I'm saying? We can't win it. We're not responsible for the winning or losing here. All we can do is just be active participants in the game, in the chess game. That's it, dude. And you can that's on each one of us. You know what I'm saying? To do the best we can, man. To think the best we can ahead. Play chess, not checkers, man. Get out the checkers mindset, man. Checkers is like, it's consumerist. It's just like, it's all packaged for you. You know what I'm saying? Chess is something you gotta, you gotta strive for. You know what I'm saying? But once you learn, dude, you can never unlearn it. You know what I'm saying? It's difficult at first, but after a while, everything's simple. It's all the same thing. I mean, basically, everything can be reduced down to a common head, I guess, basically. To the good or evil, bad or good. You know what I'm saying? Basically, back to those opposites, those opposing forces. But yeah, man, it's funny, man. They taught us this ghetto street form of corporatism. It's like, basically, they got us above and below, because in politics, it's corporatist. It's fascist. That's why you got GMO. That's why you got Halliburton. That's why you got the General Electric. You know what I'm saying? It's when the corporations fuse with the state. The corporations become the state. And that's already happened. And on the streets, at the higher levels of gangs, they're corporatists. So really, they answer to the money. And who controls the money? The corporate motherfuckers in politics. They're masters. Their same masters control both. Oh yeah, what is that show, man? There's a new rap show on TV, man. What is it called? Empire, maybe? Empire Records or something. That is about the black fascists. You know what I'm saying? Basically, I mean, I don't know if they know that they're intentionally doing that, or if they're just doing that because they just ain't never brought it to their attention. I'm going to say they're probably doing it because they're getting paid to do it. When it comes down to corporatism or fascism, fuck all the crazy night religion shit and Valhalla. Just think about the money. What can you get? Your heaven on earth. They can provide it for you. You know what I'm saying? They got the people in place. That's the payoff. You loyalty to them is rewarded. Rebellion. They might not even necessarily take your ass out. They like to watch you sit out here and struggle and suffer alone. They know that shit is impossible to struggle alone and fight alone. It's like a losing battle. They know that shit. And it's entertaining to them to watch you struggle. You know what I'm saying? I think. Because it is the Hydra. They did a good job of concealing it, and then it's all blah. It's just popping out at you from out of every nook and cranny.